know, if you've ever been to a place where something's happened, stuff happened here. It's a long time ago now. I remember. Stuff happened here. That was a long time ago. But I remember it was 1965. I was going to college. I was going to be a forest ranger. I didn't want to be around large crowds of people. So I figured forest ranger. So I was going to school in Montana to become a forest ranger. Didn't work out for me. So my life has been a karmic disaster. I've been in front of people ever since. Came back here in around November of 1965, and I was sitting over there on the other side of the wall that wasn't there. We were sitting around, and our friends were talking about opening up a restaurant. I think we were just smoking a lot that night, and so I don't know how much of it was real or whatever, but we were having a good time. I don't even know if it was legal in those days. Probably not. Although that never stopped me. So I didn't even stop the song, but I wasn't going to sing it anyway. I mean, you can't remember everything, you know. I mean, imagine going through the same half-hour Groundhog Day movie every night of your life, you know. Drive you nuts. Which was why we put it out on record. Where was I? I was gonna, but the point is that, I don't even need this guitar. I want this one here. Somewhere, I remember, it was after writing that song and the record come out in, what, 67? And somewhere in early 1968, there was a guy living down the street not too far from here, a guy named Arthur Penn, who just finished a movie called Bonnie and Clyde. And it was doing really well. And he heard this song on a record. And he says, you know, everybody thinks that kid's making that stuff up. But I know these people. He knew that Officer Obie out in Stockbridge, you know, and Judge Hannon in Lee, he said this, and he checked into it and found out it was all true. And I mean, even the 8x10 color glossy pictures, except they weren't black and white, that's the only thing I changed. And so he decided he was going to make a movie. And he decided we're going to make it here in this very church. And it was kind of funny because when they brought these big cameras in, this is 1968 now, the cameras in those days were huge. They weren't the little things they're using today. They had to roll them in on these railroad tracks. And so they had the tracks set up here in the room. They were starting to film, and the floor's going like this. I said, Matt, we can't make a movie like this. So they had to go down and build a superstructure underneath this floor, which is still there. That's the only reason we're here tonight. This church would have fallen down decades ago had it not been for making the freaking movie here. If you go down, you can still see it. There's the big, huge brick columns with a monstrous beam that goes the whole length of the church, because in those days, these walls weren't here, nothing was here. And so we made the movie, that came out in 1969. That was a big year for me, 1969. I remember, first it was Woodstock. That happened in, August. September, I bought the farm up there so I could have a field to be outstanding in. And then got married in October. Our anniversary is tomorrow, not the next day. And then something else happened. Oh, the movie came out. Right, that same year. It came out in November. What a freaking quarter of a year that was for me. I was still dealing with all of it.